Imagine Europe in the 1920s, Weimar Germany. A loaf of bread cost billions of marks. Families who followed the standard advice, buy gold, buy land, stockpile food, still watched their life savings disappear overnight. That wasn't ancient history, that was Europe. And the same pattern has repeated in modern times across Greece, Cyprus, Argentina, Venezuela, Lebanon, and Turkey. Today, conventional financial advice sounds responsible. Buy gold, buy real estate, stockpile supplies. It tests well in theory, yet history shows that millions of families who followed exactly that playbook still got crushed, not because the advice was entirely wrong, but because it was dangerously incomplete. They never changed how they perceived the monetary system itself. Hyperinflation is not just prices rising, it is the system quietly shifting all the risk onto you while protecting the institutions that created the problem. The families who came through intact didn't just prepare assets, they rebuilt an entire parallel system based on deeper perception. In this video, we're breaking down 5 fundamental perception shifts. These come straight from the documented record of real collapses in Europe and beyond. They don't require you to be wealthy. They only require you to see the game behind the game. If you're an American watching Europe's debt crises, rising inflation fears, and wondering what it means for the dollar's future, stay with me. These 20 minutes could be some of the most valuable financial education you get this year. The first perception shift is this. When real hyperinflation hits, paper money stops functioning as money. People still need to trade every day. In post-World War II Germany, the Reichsmark was technically still legal tender, but nobody used it. Gold was too valuable for small transactions. What actually became currency? American cigarettes. A carton bought a winter coat. A single cigarette bought bread. U.S. military government reports from 1946 to 1947 documented this in detail. Cigarettes were portable, divisible, universally desired, and impossible for any government to flood the market with. The same thing happened in Greece during the 2010s debt crisis. In certain neighborhoods, hygiene products, olive oil, and batteries quietly functioned as exchange units. In Turkey's recent lira collapse, imported goods became microcurrency. Even during the worst months in Cyprus and Lebanon, everyday essentials replaced failing bank money. The critical insight most advisors miss: for an item to work as microcurrency, it needs 4 properties: non-perishable, easily divisible, universally needed across all social classes, and nearly impossible to counterfeit locally. This is precisely why gold often fails at the street level. Its unit value is too high for daily purchases. You can't easily buy groceries or medicine with a gold coin without trust issues and weighing problems. Your practical move: build a barter shelf in your home. A rotating stock of high-demand essentials, over-the-counter medicine, hygiene products, shelf-stable food, batteries, basic tools, cleaning supplies. Start modest. Rotate stock every 6 to 12 months. When the system breaks down, this shelf becomes your private monetary system. Build it quietly now, while prices are still stable and shelves are full. The second perception shift is mastering timing. Hyperinflations and currency controls almost never come without warning. They usually give 12 to 24 months of clear signals. Look at Greece and Cyprus. The problems were visible for years: massive debt, banking fragility, ECB warnings. Wealthy families and institutions quietly moved money offshore. When capital controls hit, ordinary citizens who waited were locked in. In Cyprus, depositors above 100,000 euros lost up to 47.5% overnight. Ray Dalio describes this as the pre-crisis normalization period. Life still feels normal. Paychecks arrive. Stores are open. The currency still works, just a little less reliably each month. The human brain is wired to dismiss gradual decline and only react to sudden shocks. That trap has destroyed more wealth than any single crash. For Americans watching Europe, or concerned about U.S. debt-to-GDP levels and continuous money creation, the lesson is clear. If you see sustained deficits, aggressive central bank balance sheet expansion, political fights over fiscal policy, or elite capital moving quietly, recognize the window. You don't need to move everything. Open an account in a stable jurisdiction and park 6 to 12 months of family expenses there, while transfers are still easy and legal. This single action has been the highest leverage protection for families across every European crisis of the last 15 years. The exit door does not stay open forever. The third perception shift feels completely counterintuitive to most Americans. We've been taught our whole lives that debt is dangerous, and paying it off early is the responsible thing. In normal times, that's often true. During hyperinflation or severe currency weakening, the rules completely reverse. When governments print money to survive, the real value of fixed-rate domestic currency debt collapses. Borrowers win, pure savers lose. In Turkey's recent crisis, families with fixed-rate lira mortgages watched their monthly payments shrink dramatically in real purchasing power while keeping their homes. The same mechanism appeared in Weimar Germany, where some homeowners repaid mortgages worth years of salary with the price of a newspaper. Greece and Argentina showed identical outcomes. The lesson: If you hold low fixed-rate debt in the weakening currency and used it to acquire productive real assets, your home, income-producing property, or useful infrastructure, that debt is quietly working in your favor as inflation rises. This does not mean borrow recklessly. It means don't rush to pay down good, low fixed-rate debt if the broader monetary system is showing stress. Hold the debt and redirect extra cash into the other four strategies. Historically, the strongest households were net borrowers in the dying currency and net owners of tangible, useful assets. The fourth perception shift goes beyond assets. Your strongest protection may be what you can earn, not what you own. During Greece's crisis, professionals who developed remote income streams in euros, dollars, or pounds from international clients kept their living standards. In Turkey and Lebanon, anyone earning even part of their income in hard currency suddenly gained massive local purchasing power. The structural reality: when 100% of your income is in the weakening domestic currency, you carry extreme concentration risk, the same as putting your entire net worth in one stock. You don't have to quit your job. Start building even a part-time income stream paid in US dollars or other stable currencies. Freelancing, consulting, digital products, online services, exporting expertise, programming, design, writing, accounting, tutoring, consulting, any skill that someone in a stable economy will pay for. This hedge costs almost nothing in good times and becomes priceless when local currency weakens. The European families who came through best had diversified their earning power, not just their investment portfolio. The final perception shift is the most overlooked in our digital age. When banks freeze accounts, ATMs go empty, and transfers stop, humans always return to the oldest financial technology: trust. In Greece and Cyprus, neighborhood networks tracked favors, goods, and services on paper. In Turkey and Lebanon, handshake agreements and community groups replaced broken banks. Reputation became collateral that no government could seize. These human trust networks are anti-fragile. They cannot be frozen, hacked, or devalued by central banks. Their strength comes from mutual obligation built over time. Building this ledger doesn't look like traditional financial planning. It looks like knowing your neighbors, creating reciprocal relationships with local producers, tradespeople, doctors, and service providers today, while times are still calm. When the formal system fails, a gap that historically lasts 6 months to 3 years, these connections become the bridge that carries families through. You now carry 5 perception shifts that most mainstream advisors will never emphasize: a functional barter shelf, a hard currency account opened in the open window, strategic fixed-rate debt working for you, a diversified income stream in stable currency, and a human trust network that no institution can control. None of these require massive wealth. They only require clearer perception and action, while others still believe everything is fine. Europe has shown us the pattern repeatedly. The gap between those who trusted the old system and those who quietly built a parallel one has never closed. The wealth perception exists to help you see the game clearly, not to scare you, but to empower you. If this video shifted how you think about money and risk, please like, subscribe, and comment below. Which of these 5 shifts surprised you the most? In upcoming videos, we'll go deeper into how these principles apply to the current Western financial environment. History has the answers. The only real question is your timing. See you in the next layer.